Fresh, your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
Dailies today.
Dailies today.
On 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Pleasant morning to you, Lagos, Nigeria. Welcome back to the show, Dailies Today, that started around 6:13 this morning. Welcome. I'm Sheriff Quadry. Now, the papers are in already, so let's take a look at them. We've got the Daily Sun here. The Vanguard is also on the table. We've got the Guardian newspaper. The Punch is here. The Daily Trust, as well as the Nation newspapers. These are the tabloids that we've got for you. By the way, you can watch the show on Facebook and on YouTube. Nigeria Info 99.3 is how you can watch and share your thoughts with me on the stories that we got for you today. So we're going to start with the before I start, let me say that the auditions for the I Beg to Differ secondary schools debate competition is still pretty much on. It's just that the online registration and audition has ended on Sunday. But the audition that is currently going on right now is the in-person live auditions, which means that if you have a kid or you have students who like to enter for the I Beg to Differ debate competition, they would go to our website, pick a topic, and go and prepare for the auditions, because they would have to come here to our studios for the auditions next Saturday, not this Saturday, next Saturday, January 25. We start as early as 8 a.m. So it's first come, first served. That is how it's going to be. So we're not going to waste time. Everyone would get their chance to prove that they've got the right to be in the competition. Right. So that is coming up. It's a live audition thing. They would have to come to our office, and then they would audition. They will be auditioned live here on Nigeria Info FM. Okay, so here we go. Let's begin now. Best of luck to all of the students who would be entering for the live auditions. Let's start with the Daily Sun newspaper this morning. I've got this story here that says DSS, Tinubu's approval of appointment of Deputy DG sparks celebration. That story is on page 29. DSS, Tinubu's approval of appointment of Deputy DG sparks celebration. Page 29 of the Daily Sun newspaper for you today. So we're going to take a look at that. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has officially approved the appointment of Folashade Ariola Adekayoja as the new Deputy Director General of the Department of State Services, DSS. The landmark decision marks the first time a sitting president has made such an appointment, receiving widespread accolades from both current and former DSS officers who viewed as a vital step towards restoring professionalism within the agency. Oh, wow. That's interesting. Daily Sun gathered that the presidential approval aims to restructure the DSS for enhanced operational efficiency in line with the original mandates of the service. The DSS is originally structured to include 3 deputy directors general within its hierarchy, making this appointment particularly notable. The appointment and ratification by the president, according to elected operatives of the agency, was based on the recommendation of the DG through the National Security Advisor NSA Malam Nuhuri Badu. That's you can read further on that particular story. It's right there on page 29 of the Daily Sun newspaper. DSS Tinubu's approval of appointment of Deputy DG sparks celebration. Marwa seeks more National Assembly support, defends 67.5 billion naira 2025 NDLEA budget. Marwa seeks more National Assembly support, defends 67.5 billion naira 2025 NDLEA budget. The rider JAM dismisses alleged spending of huge amounts on meals. JAM dismisses alleged spending of huge amounts on meals. That story is on page 5 if you like to read. We'll take another story on page 6 of the Daily Sun newspaper. Lagos, you're welcome if you're just joining us. Dailies today. And I'm Sheriff Quadry. Wike issues 5,481 CO4s in 16 months. Says FCT title document now ready in 2 weeks. Wike issues 5,481 CO4 in 16 months. Says FCT title document now ready in 2 weeks. Yeah. That's the story here on page 6 of the Daily Sun newspaper. Now we're going to move on to the Vanguard newspaper right now, Lagos. Okay. Underfunding, huge debts, roots causes of power sector failure. Underfunding, huge debts, root causes of power sector failure. The riders, as supply falls below 4,000 megawatts, creates more hurdles for households, businesses. NERC orders Fidelity Bank to divest. Power sector outlook gloomy. That's according to CPPE. Power Consumer Assistance Fund is key. Power of Nigeria. That story is on page 14. It's all about the power sector. It's been in the news for all the wrong reasons lately. But you can read further if you're interested in that story. So let's take this one here that says marketers shift to Dangote Refinery as petrol depot price hits 950 naira per litre. That story is on page 19. Marketers shift to Dangote Refinery as petrol depot price hits 950 naira per litre. Story is on page 19 of the Vanguard newspaper. Let's go take a look at this story before we move on to our next story this morning. So here we go with the story. It reads, the Independent Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, said it has shifted loyalty to the Dangote Petroleum Refinery as the depot price of Premium Motor Spirit PMS, also known as petrol, rose by 4.7% to 950 naira per litre from 907 naira last Friday. The development is driven by the high cost of crude oil, which rose to $80 per barrel this week from $73 per barrel last week. Confirming the shift in loyalty in an interview with Vanguard yesterday, the public relations officer of IPMAN, Chinedu Ukadike, said, and I quote, "We have encouraged our members to buy from Dangote Refinery. We cannot continue to depend on depot owners to buy our products, especially when we can buy directly from the refinery." Whatever works for you, it's business after all. Marketers shift to Dangote Refinery as petrol depot price hits 50 naira per litre. That's right. Okay, so we're gonna dump the Vanguard now. Let's go pick up the Guardian newspaper, shall we? So here we go with a couple stories in the Guardian newspaper this morning. 50 billion naira budget can't end insecurity. Matawale tells lawmakers. That story is on page 5 of the Guardian newspaper. CBN fines 9 banks 1.35 billion naira for not dispensing cash via ATMs. The story is on page 3. The story is on page 3. You can read further to know even the names of the banks affected here. ASU opposes diversion of TED funds resources as reps push tax reforms. ASU opposes diversion of TED funds resources as reps push tax reforms. The story is on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. I've got this one here on the front page of the Guardian. Page 6 is where you read further if you're interested. Armed Forces Remembrance Day. Better equipment, compensation, prosecution of terrorists, top agenda. Armed Forces Remembrance Day. Better equipment, compensation, prosecution of terrorists, top agenda. Story is on page 6 if you like to read further, but you find it on the front page of the Guardian newspaper. 7:39. If you're just tuning in, you're most welcome. You have been listening to the headlines. If you've got Any input to any of the stories, so you can start dropping them now on our live stream on Facebook and on YouTube, Nigeria Info 99.3. I would come in a moment to come take your thoughts on those two platforms on Facebook and on YouTube, or just send me a message on WhatsApp. WhatsApp is 0809 597 5805 on WhatsApp. That is 0809 597 5805 on WhatsApp. Let me go to the Punch newspaper. Southwest governors team up against ISWAP elements, bandits. The story is on page 2. The rider, governors working on intelligence report as Southwest monarchs demand proactive step. I'm sure we are aware of the news that broke the other day about a Southwest camp, bomb-making camp. Yeah, where they're teaching them to make bombs. That was discovered in Osun the other day. This has really raised the antenna of security in the Southwest in general. So the story says Southwest governors team up against ISWAP elements, bandits. It's right here on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. I'm going to take this one here on page 30 of the Punch newspaper this morning. Opposition demands impeached speaker's probe as GSC meets Lagos Assembly leaders. That's the Governor Advisory Council. That's GSC. That story is on page 30, by the way, if you like to read further. Opposition demands impeached speaker's probe as GSC meets Lagos Assembly leaders. Stories right there in the Punch newspaper. So I'm going to take this one here, and then we'll move on to the Daily Trust newspaper because we are almost out of time. Ooni's ex-queen, others regain freedom after 21-day remand. That story is on page 14. Ooni's ex-queen, others regain freedom after 21-day remand. Page 14 of the Punch newspaper. Let's drop the Punch right now. If you're interested, please pick up that paper and read other stories that we go for you today. So let's go to the Daily Trust newspaper, last paper for this morning before we come take your thought. It's 7:42 already. Cash crunch, CBN fines 9 banks 1.35 billion naira. It's right there. And there is this picture on the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper about the destruction in Gaza. War on Gaza. Israel to OK ceasefire deal. It's a monumental development in the Middle East, especially the war on Gaza. A story is on page 3 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Boko Haram burns church houses in Borno. Boko Haram burns church houses in Borno. Stories on page 4 of the Daily Trust newspaper is right there. We can't fight banditry with 20 armored personnel carriers, Minister. We can't fight banditry with 20 armored personnel carriers. The Minister is saying there, that should be Matawali. Page 3 is where you'd find that story. Okay. Students leaders to get rice as Tinubu extends palliative to SUGs. Page 10. Students leaders to get rice as Tinubu extends palliatives to SUGs. Stories on page 10 of the Daily Trust newspaper. 7:43 already. Let's come take your thoughts on the major stories that you've heard in the papers today. Right? Okay. 0201 277 0993 and 0201 465 7190. That second number is for ladies and ladies only. If you're a man, please do not call that particular second number. And I called out the WhatsApp number earlier, okay? And if you're watching online, you can stream live on Facebook and on YouTube. If you are not, and drop your comments for me, I will come take them, all right? 60 seconds for every caller. All right. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Sherry.
Good morning to you. Yes, please.
This Friday from Ibeleri.
You're welcome.
The one that interests me, that fine that CBN finds some banks. See, Sherry, if you go to bank,
right,
they pay you more than 5,000 naira, they sell low money. You are coming from outside the bank. You see somebody that carry bag, he's ready to pay you with a POS. And after paying you with POS, do you know the painful part of it? The POS will debit you. You run back to the bank again, the bank will tell you to give them 7 working days, Sherry. They don't even care. Maybe that is the only last money you have in your account. They don't care how you're going to survive with your family. You pay transport to the bank, you keep on going there. Sometimes you will stay more than 2 weeks. So what I'm thinking now, that money that they find there, if they pay there, they should pay it to we customers. So, because we are wasting some money, especially this Christmas period, this past Christmas people. They debit us a lot. Go to the bank, 7 working days. With the honor days, it took us more 2 weeks, Sherry, to recover our money back. So they should share that money among with the customer if they pay that fine. Thank you very much, Sherry.
Thank you to Friday for calling. I appreciate your time. Nigeria Info, good morning to you. Good morning.
Hello, Mr. Sharif. Good morning.
Good morning. You're calling the female line, huh? Do try and call the male line, all right? Okay, thank you. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning.
This is Malik speaking from Onuru.
Welcome, Malik.
Happy New Year.
New Year to you too.
Sheriff, we should forget about the banking sector. That, like the government itself, everybody is doing fraud. Nobody is being checked at all. Sheriff, your money is taken for a bank that they said they're upgrading their system. At the end of the day, they'll give you excuses why the money is missing. There is nothing you can do, because if you run to the court, it will not work. You run to the police, it will not work. So we are all hopeless. Imagine, Sheriff, now, you are buying a goods and you are paying your ATM card. They are charging you for it again. And you are saying cashless. Isn't that amazing? Even in the filling station, you are being paid 100 naira for any amount of fuel you are buying with your ATM card. And the banking sectors are not doing anything. The government itself are not doing anything. For the president, palliative to SUG. Another way for bribery for election. Good morning.
Thank you, Malik. Thanks for calling. Nigeria Info. Good morning to you.
Hello, Sheriff. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, my name is Mazude.
Welcome, Mazi.
Yes, please. I want to appeal to Nigerians to stop collecting palliative from government, from individuals. All is ritual. Please, they should stop collecting.
Did you call it ritual or spiritual?
I said that ritual. They're using people to do rituals there. They should stop taking
How do you mean ritual? How?
It's kind of using people's, destroying people's life. They use people to make money from them, make their life all big.
So when government give palliative,
government and individual, everybody, palliative is not right now in Nigeria.
So it's ritual.
Everything is fraud.
Interesting. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your thought. Appreciate it. Said it's ritual, eh? Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Shelley.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
This is Mama Felicia from Ijegu Ikoku.
You're welcome.
What baffles me in this banks, ATM?
Yeah.
Sheriff, do you know that, whether you can remember that, when they started this ATM newly, we were forced to go for ATM card. In fact, there was a limit that you can withdraw from the banking hall. That it must be from 100,000 upwards. Otherwise, you should use ATM. Why is the ATM not working again? Why they don't have money inside the ATM? That are referring people to POS. It's too bad. I don't know why our country is like this. Going forward and backwards, Let the bank provide money inside the ATM machines so that it will be easy for people. That time they don't discriminate. Now the banks discriminate. If it is not your bank, maybe if they want to give it, it's 5,000 naira.
Thank you.
God bless.
God bless you too. Thank you for calling. Appreciate it. I honestly, I do not think that 5,000 naira in today's Nigeria, with what inflation is saying, if we had this policy some 2-3 years ago, that time naira was still, at least we still had some sort of value on the naira. But now inflation is off the roof. So this thing needs to be adjusted by the government, by the CBN. It needs to be looked into. It needs to be reviewed again. at least so that people can have transportation alone. Half of that money is gone. So people are now being left at the mercy of POS operators. They can't obtain money from the banks, the legitimate banks. They can't get money from the ATMs. They are forced, they are compelled to patronize POS operators. That's a shame, actually. That's a shame. That's a big shame. Let me go back to telephone lines. Good morning to you. The call is gone. 7:50. Let's see who is there. Good morning to you.
Hello. Good morning, Mr. Sheriff.
Good morning.
This is Joy from Eva.
Welcome, Joy.
Please, Mr. Sheriff, I want to find out something. This, we were told last year that Port Harcourt Refinery is working.
Yes.
And Warri Refinery is also working.
Yes.
Now, we are all happy. We were jubilating that the fuel problem is solved. But now, they are telling us, Dangote, that the marketers should go to Dangote and buy fuel. What is happening, Mr. Sheriff? It's what is happening?
I don't understand your question. What is happening? How?
What I'm saying, the marketers are not going to Dangote to buy fuel. Does it mean that the refinery, they say they have repaired, it's not working or what?
No. It does. That doesn't mean. So if you're a business person, let's say you sell fuel, for instance, you can decide to buy from Dangote or you can decide to buy from another refinery. It's your choice. So the marketers are the ones that are saying they are going to Dangote to go and buy. That's their mind. Nobody is telling them to go. They themselves are the ones saying that they will go there to go and buy.
That means the Nigerian own is that is our own refinery price is high now. That is why they are going to Dangote.
They have their reasons. I can't speak for them why they are going for Dangote. Thank you so much for calling me. I can't say exactly why. It could be because of the quality of the fuel. It could be the price. It could be proximity for them. It could be anything. But our refinery, if I may, jumping on it, NNPC will probably just service their own retail outlets first before they can sell to any marketer. That may be the reason the marketers are thinking of Dangote first, because NNPC will service themselves first before they go anywhere. Well, thank you for sharing. 7:52 is time. Let me take this one here. Good morning to you.
Hello.
Good morning. Please turn off your radio quickly. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. There was this price. They said price was going to go up or something. I don't know whether you spoke about that.
The price of what?
Fuel.
Okay. It's part of what we read about the marketers. Go on, please.
Okay. Yeah. So my question is this: now, and they cited the fact that the oil price was going up. And
yes.
the rest.
Yes.
So now, if we are having local productions, right? I mean, it's an internal thing. I mean, just like they say, I produce this thing myself right here in Nigeria.
Right. That's right.
What is the influence? What's the level of
what will be the impact?
External, international price? How does it affect what we have the crude oil here? We refine it here. So why is it? How does what happens in the international market now affect our pricing here?
Okay.
When we get the crude oil and we produce it by ourselves here. I need an enlightenment on that, please. Thank you, Sheriff.
Okay. Thank you, too. Let me throw a disclaimer out there first and foremost. I am not an oil industry expert. So that's a disclaimer first and foremost. But here is my thinking, right? Number one is that we don't refine all our crude here. We still move crude outside of the country. Dangote is perhaps the only refinery that we've got that has that large capacity to refine about 650, and it's not even operating at full capacity yet, right? Yes, we have Warri Refinery, we have Port Harcourt Refinery, but these are just I don't want to call them small, but then putting them side by side with Dangote Refinery, it's just they have their own capacities. Let's put it that way. So they can't refine that much. So we still have to, for private importers of premium motor spirit, they still have to import petrol. and that would the foreign exchange will have impact on it. The global oil prices will have impact on their ex-depot price, which is what is now causing what has informed the independent marketers to move back to Dangote Refinery after leaving Dangote Refinery to go and be buying, because at that time it was cheaper for them to go and buy imported petrol. It was cheaper. Ex-depot price was 910 naira. Now it's 980 naira. So there's that huge 70 naira gap in a few days. So they have to move back to Dangote that is cheaper for them, because Dangote is selling something at a rate that they can afford and they can sell, to public. For NNPC can still afford to sell cheaper because NNPC is refining in Port Harcourt and they are refining in Warri. So it's easier for them. Nobody, even they themselves, cannot say that they won't be able to sell at cheaper prices than the imported petrol. So yeah, but then the importers have their decision to make whether to buy, from the marketers, whether to buy from the importers or to buy from Dangote, and it's business decision really. They have to. Now for the crude thing, if Dangote is importing crude, the price will not be cheaper. The price will go up again because he will be importing crude. But if he's buying crude from NNPC, there will be marginal reduction in price because the importation cost and all of these things will be out of it. So in essence, yes, the international prices will still affect the local price of petrol to some extent. Yes, to some extent. Not in all retail outlets that you would buy petrol at a higher cost when the international price of petrol of crude goes up. Not all filling stations. Some will still be cheaper because to some extent we are refining locally. Yeah, essentially. 7:56. Let's go take some comments. I think so. Let's take some comments. All my lines are buzzing off the hook. So I'm going to take this one that says, Esther Oboli says, the present administration and rice disbursement, they are like 5 and 6, honestly. Every time it keeps rising with rice to the occasion. Is that the best this administration has on offer? No proactiveness, only reactiveness. That's Esther Oboli who dropped that message here. Corey says, what about some 7,000 naira audio alawi for youth corpers? When them go start the audio payments? It's not for youth corpers alone. Even the new minimum wage for federal civil service, they've not kick-started that. They've not started. Maybe this January. I don't know, really. I don't know. So it's not for corpers alone. Even for civil servants themselves, it's not been commenced. Bimbo says, good development at CBN are now monitoring the banks on cash flows. It's not getting out of hands with the banks not making cash available for their customers. It's out of hand completely, honestly. Brother Sola says it is not ready. It's not really about fining the banks, but making sure that they do the right thing. If the fine will not lead to loaded ATMs, then its aim has been defeated. That's Brother Sola who dropped that here. Okay, so I'm going to head back. Let's take one or two from WhatsApp. But we don't have more than 30 minutes. All these messages that are rushing in. So I'm just going to take this one here. It says, how can Tinubu be giving SUG leaders rice while many students can't eat? You mean? It is pathetic that this government is wasting money on palliatives. Having DSS and deputy DSS from same region doesn't look good for optics. That's Ayo who dropped that here. Ayo, thank you for sharing your thought. I've been asking this question: is POS selling naira not a black market racketeering? Is it legal? I know even selling fuel in jerry cans is illegal, but we accept it anyway since the system isn't working. Is it the same thing with naira now? Does it mean we accept anything? This guy is just waking up, Sha. He's asking if you accept anything. Who will tell him? No, I'm not going to tell him. You people should tell him. He's asking if we accept anything. 7:59. I have to go, Lagos. Thank you for being a part of it. Okay, I'm going to hand you back now to Kofi Battels on the Morning Crossfire. But I'll be back at 9 for Daily Digest. Dear Bumi, let's relax a little bit. Let's sit back and just stretch our legs from all this down everywhere, because Nigeria is action film. Well, honestly, Coffee is coming in now. Good morning to you.
Only one station gives you great talk every day.
Once you have money to have influence and power, you can rule in Nigeria. The Supreme Court said that one old man came to testify because the old
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.